The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of Lexington Community Radio or its board of directors. The views expressed are solely those of the programmers.
You are listening to Off the Cuff. Now, here's your host, Adam Banks.
Welcome, everybody, to Off the Cuff. I am Adam Banks, coming at you live from Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you for listening to the show, and thank you for tuning in to WLXU 93.9 FM. In addition to listening to us on the radio, you can check out our Facebook live stream at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks, or you can download the Radio Lex app on your smartphone device. Amber Turner is in the studio with me. Everybody on the show thread, thank you for joining in. This is a day that I am probably going to rely on the show thread a lot because I want you to report breaking news to me, and I can report it as I hear it. But Amber, I was sitting down to think of what we should talk about on the show, and I was struggling coming up with some topics. There's not a lot going on.
Oh, no, there's nothing going on.
It's been very quiet. It's been a very quiet week. Nothing's really been happening. So I was struggling coming up with things to talk about on today's show, and let me just tell you something. Today feels like, for the first time, doing local radio because I feel like a lot of people are listening to the radio. I think masses are listening to the radio right now because it feels like the old days when you're sitting down next to a radio listening for breaking news, just listening for things to pop off.
Exactly.
Social media has been exploding with breaking news stories. It seems like every minute.
I literally think it is every minute we get a new break.
We get a new break, and it's not just a little break. It's like a big breaking story. So many cancellations, so many new developments, so many things happen. And really things started to pop off yesterday.
Yes.
Now, I've been talking for a couple weeks now. You can go back and listen to the archives on iTunes, Spotify, other places like that, and you can hear where I have mentioned the coronavirus, and I talked about, my concern with the spread of the virus. Well, yesterday it's went to a whole new level.
Yep.
Apparently yesterday, the World Health Organization finally officially announced that it was a pandemic, and that means that it is spread nationwide. Or is it worldwide?
Worldwide.
It has spread worldwide, and now it's everywhere. So they're urging people now to take precaution, and they're urging organizations that have large mass gatherings to take precaution, and that's exactly what's happened. I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like this, Amber. It's like a movie that I've been watching, just turning on the TV, watching the stock market literally just
plummet.
The Dow's not been this low since 2008.
Wow.
And you just click on Fox Business News, you click on CNN, wherever, and you just watch the Dow. It's just dropping, just by the second, and you're like, "Wow, what's going to happen if that thing keeps dropping? Or is the economy just going to crash?"
I mean, people are out spending like it's not going to crash. So
yeah, you still see people out.
Oh yeah,
yeah. When you go to the store, good luck trying to find hand sanitizer or Clorox wipes
or toilet paper.
I'm
confused on that one.
Me too. It looks like that people are preparing for some type of blizzard here in this city, but they're just going out and trying to buy cleaning supplies because things have the media, I think, has blown things out of proportion.
Definitely. I think we just have a lot of bad information that's being put out, and I think it is adding to the hysteria because a lot of us haven't lived through, a major, yes, we did have the SARS outbreak, but I think we were too young to really get into that. And now it's our generation. This is our big thing. And I think that, as a whole, we just weren't prepared for this. We didn't have the information we needed.
Well, I think there's been things like this that has existed before. I have a list of past, crazy events that's happened, kind of scare. What do I want to call this? I want to call this maybe just like scare headlines, things that have kind of shook us, that's kind of made us aware. Okay, it dates all the way back to 2000 with the Y2K scare.
Okay.
Remember that?
I loved that one, though.
The 2001 anthrax is going to kill us all. Remember that?
I do remember that.
Kids would crush up little candy mints.
Do you remember they actually called off our grade school for a few days because they thought we had anthrax?
Yeah, like somebody was going to send anthrax to Beaver Creek.
I mean, I bought it.
We were also 13 years old, too.
True.
But the anthrax scare, the West Nile virus in 2002,
Yes.
the SARS in 2003,
Yes.
bird flu in 2005, E. coli in 2006.
Yeah, okay.
E. coli, financial collapse is going to kill us all in 2008. The swine flu is going to kill us all in 2009. The Mayan calendar predicts the world ending in 2012. Remember that?
Now, I enjoyed that one. I didn't buy into it, but I enjoyed watching the people that did.
North Korea is going to cause World War III in 2013. 2014, Ebola virus was going to kill us all. 2015, ISIS is going to kill us all. 2016, the Zika virus. And now 2020, here we are. The coronavirus is going to kill us. Now, I want you to think about the things that I said in early 2000s. The Y2K, the anthrax, the West Nile, the SARS, all of that.
Yeah.
That was pre-social media.
Very much
That was
pre-social
pre-social media. Imagine if we had social media during those times.
No.
How blown up things could have gotten. I think things are so bad now because I've been trying to rationalize, why are things so bad? Why is there such an anxious feeling? It's because it's everywhere you look.
Yep.
It's not just on TV. Because back in the day, Y2K, SARS, anthrax, all of that, you just heard about it when you turned on the radio or TV. Now, it's everywhere you look. It's on your phone.
Apple's giving updates every 30 seconds.
Everybody's got a phone. So everybody's looking at updates. Everybody's just like looking at.
And even if you're not on social media, I mean, you're getting, like I said, Apple is sending out, push notifications.
Yeah.
I'm sure Android's doing their own thing.
Yeah, so I wonder if just the rise in social media is the reason why people are freaking out, because it's everywhere. It's a big deal because that's all you're hearing now. And when you only hear certain news, you start freaking out over it.
Oh, yeah. I just remember when I was growing up, I don't know if your grandparents were like this, but my granny always used to say that the computer was the devil, and that would be the downfall of mankind. And I don't think that's entirely true because, we need technology, but I can see how it's scary. It's scarier because we have everybody throwing out their opinion. We've got fake news coming out. It's just scary.
Well, one thing that I don't like about doing Off the Cuff is we only get to do it once a week. We don't get to do it Monday through Friday. It's only once a week. So the last time we were on the air, there was no coronaviruses. Well, there was no coronavirus in Lexington.
Exactly.
Well, nobody had been diagnosed yet.
Exactly.
Because let's be honest, there's probably people that have it that just don't know it.
They just don't know right now.
And that could be you. So before we was even last on the air, we didn't have it here in Lexington. Now we do. It first hit Harrison County, I believe.
It did.
And it was a 27-year-old woman, a 67-year-old woman, and a 60-year-old man had it. And Governor Beshear came on the air on Tuesday afternoon at a press conference and confirmed that there had been 2 more additional cases in Harrison County, a 60-year-old male and a 54-year-old female. The Lexington cases are 2 men, a 49-year-old and 68-year-old male. The Jefferson County case is a 69-year-old male. So it's of course developing, and it brings the state's current total of cases up to 8. And I don't think it's risen since I last looked.
Not since I last looked.
So I think that we're up to 8 cases. The governor is pretty much telling everybody to avoid large crowds.
Yes.
And because of that, we have a lot of cancellations. If you don't know, you're living under a rock. The NCAA has canceled pretty much all of their conference tournaments. I think, as a matter of fact, they're all canceled. SEC's canceled. The ACC's went ahead and canceled. Big 12, Big 10, it's canceled. Nobody is allowed. They're not even going to continue playing the games. At first, they were saying no crowds allowed at the games.
Yeah.
And imagine how weird that would be.
That would have been so weird.
Yeah, it would have felt like you were watching a high school scrimmage game on TV.
Like practice.
Yeah. It would have felt like you were watching one of those UK Bahamas, UK Hawaii games that we watch over the summer. But yeah, so that's canceled. They completely canceled it. We're still waiting to hear if the big dance is being canceled. If it continues, which I highly, highly doubt it will. I really highly doubt that we're going to have an NCAA March Madness tournament this year. But if we do have it, Duke's already said they're not doing it. Kansas has already said they're not doing it. That's two major players. I mean,
yeah.
That's two major players that could have won it all. And I think that they're going ahead and taking their name out of the running because they know that we're not going to have it.
And it looks good that they are thinking about their players and the communities as opposed to a title.
Exactly. It's there's in March. Think about this. Couldn't have come at a worse time. We are seeing the world shutting down their sports, and we're starting to see how people are reacting, and we're starting to see how crippling it is for people to not have sports in this world. Sports means an awful lot to people.
Well, because it's your hobby.
It's your hobby. It's America's pastime, and we don't really have it right now.
No.
They've shut down the NBA. They've indefinitely suspended their season.
Yep.
They have indefinitely suspended the season of the National Hockey League.
Yep.
So there's no hockey. There's no basketball.
There's the MLB. I seen
Major League Baseball is suspending their season. Not suspending their season, but what is it they're doing?
They're suspending right now for this time frame.
So right now they're just shutting down games.
Yes.
Okay, so I know, and this is all breaking. I mean, this has probably just come out in the last couple hours, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because last I heard that they were just stopping their parades. So now they're stopping games. Wow. See, so we are seeing what this country is like without sports, what it would have. Could you imagine this world without sports, Amber?
No. And like now that we're kind of in the mix of it, like I think that's one of the things that's really driving this home, that, hey, something's going on, because we're taking away something that, you said it best, it's America's pastime. So we're taking away like this thing that, we have kind of put on a pedestal for a long time, which is professional sports. And to see that that's gone, at least for now.
Not only are sporting events shutting down, schools are starting to shut down. School districts as we speak. I'm sure there's been some since we've been on the air that have closed. I know. I'm getting here on the show thread. Wade says that Morehead State University shut down classes for a couple weeks. UK's went to all online. EKU has went to all online. Berea College.
So EKU, what we are doing is we are extending our spring break. So if anybody listening at EKU is hearing this, we will not be having classes next week. Starting on March the 23rd, we will be going to online.
All online.
All online. Now, if your classes are online that are scheduled to start on the 16th, you still need to log on to Blackboard because those classes are still going to be starting. But all traditional face-to-face classes, we get an extended break, and then the 23rd of March, we will kind of go in and do online, and then they're going to reconvene on April the 3rd to determine whether or not we can come back to campus.
So we are still learning of what other districts are doing, what other... I know that Fayette County was supposed to have some type of press conference today at 4.
So I just want to make sure that I got this right on the MLB. What they're doing is they are suspending the spring training games, and they are going to delay the start of the regular season by at least 2 weeks as of right now.
Okay. All right, so nobody's going to be allowed to do anything. I hope that everybody has a nice little cable package, because you're going to be in the house for a while. Not only are sporting events shutting down and schools shutting down, there's TV shows are not filming with audiences anymore. Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, they said no more crowds allowed, which understandably so.
Oh, yeah.
Alex Trebek does not need to have sick people around him right now. Pat Sajak does not need to have sick people around him right now. He just got out of the hospital. They're both in their 70s. Price is Right. They can't continue their show without a crowd. So if they decide that they're going to not invite a crowd to watch their show, they can't even have a show. So it's affecting everything.
I wonder how that's going to do with like your nighttime talk shows.
Like you talking about
Kimmel and Fallon. I wonder how that's going to be affected.
You can still do shows like that without a crowd.
Oh, yeah. It's just a different vibe.
Yeah, it'd just be a different vibe. It'd be like Midday Kentucky.
Which you can catch Adam on Mondays and Tuesdays, 12:30.
ABC 36.
ABC 36.
I like the plug. I like how we always try to find a plug to plug that in there.
We have to.
But it's not just... it makes it real when you hear about somebody really prominent getting the disease. And you hear Tom Hanks and his wife has been diagnosed with it. And when I heard that, I thought it was a prank. I said, that just don't seem real. But it is.
And then Matthew Broderick's sister, Janice Broderick, has also been diagnosed.
We go from Tom Hanks to some woman I don't even, somebody's sister. What? Okay.
Hey, it was all over the news. So she's significant enough to be on E-News.
Yeah. Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to take a quick commercial break. We got a lot more coronavirus talk and lots more to talk about because there's so much. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after these words. Stick with us. Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in the studio with me. So the boys basketball Sweet 16 tournament has been suspended, the games. I don't know if they're going to postpone that and just do it at a later date, but as of now, it's been suspended. And I hate that because think about how excited those kids were to go play at Rupp Arena and play in front of that crowd.
That's what they live for.
That's what they live for.
Yeah.
Is to go and play in front of their home state, in front of the crowd. And I was really excited because I really got invested into high school basketball this year with all these regional tournament games. Amber, you and I actually went to a couple. We went to one.
We did.
We went to the George Rogers Clark, the 10th regional championship. It was George Rogers Clark versus
Montgomery County.
And George Rogers Clark is coached by a friend of mine, Josh Cook. And Josh, I'm telling you, a little hotshot coach we got here in Kentucky. Second time to state. He first went to the state tournament with Mercer County. He went to GRC. He's only been there a couple years, 3 maybe at most, and now he's already making his second state tournament appearance. It's pretty impressive.
They're a good-looking team.
They are.
They really are.
And he was. I've been friends with Josh for a long time. Grew up very close to him, to his house is what I'm saying. Like our house, geography-wise, was very close geographically, and it's just funny. When I was there at the game, I was like, good for Josh, man. Just good for you. Like,
oh, yeah.
And it was really cool to watch him coach because he is a little scrappy coach. He's animated to watch. I mean, at one point, he was coaching on his knees. I was like, what's he doing down there? The facility, I was very impressed with the George Rogers Clark facility. I think it's only been open for a couple
of months. I think
months?
I think they've got to play because I like to talk to people. I like to have conversations with strangers, and I made friends with someone
at the high school game.
I did.
You have not been to a high school basketball game in how long?
Oh, gosh. It's probably been since I was in high school.
And you walk in like a regular.
Yes.
You look like a regular George Rogers Clark basketball fan.
I did. I was cheering, hooping, and hollering.
People were giving you high fives. They were winking at you.
People were giving me high fives.
Hugging you. Yeah, like you were a part of the school.
I was.
Like you had a kid at the school.
I felt like I was famous.
We are getting a call into the studio.
Okay.
Let's see who we got here. I love it when we get calls, and I love it when we get random calls. And I was thinking that if we got somebody on the air, if we actually were talking about the coronavirus, I figured we was going to get some people to call in.
Okay.
So let's see who our first caller is. Who do we have on the line?
This is Nelson Osborne calling.
Nelson Osborne, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Mooresville, North Carolina.
Well, Nelson, I'm sure you have been keeping up with this coronavirus news. Do you think that we have a reason to be freaking out right now?
Yes, I do, Adam. I'm a preacher.
Yeah.
And, it talks here in Matthew. It's talking about the Lord coming back as it was in the days of Noah, as it was in the days of Lot. It says, ye shall hear of wars, rumors of wars, so that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. For the nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. All of these are the beginning of sorrows. That's talking about all these things happening before the Lord comes to rapture the church. And so we are living in those days when these pestilences and things are coming upon us. And people should really be concerned about what's going on, not so much as the news is telling us things. And we know that the news are telling us things that are right and things that are going on, but they're not really telling us the main thing. And that is that a person needs to know the Lord, because when he comes back, these pestilence and things are going to get worse instead of better.
Well, Nelson, that's a very interesting point, and I agree with you. I do agree with you. I think that what this country needs right now is God. I think it's times like this we need to look to God for answers and guidance instead of the news and the media. And our governor here in Kentucky recently had urged all the church services to be postponed and really to just cancel our church services. But in a way, I understand why he did it, because it is crowds gathering. A lot of older people go into church buildings. What do you think he should have done? Do you think that was the right call, canceling church services?
Well, I think it depends, Adam, on really how bad it gets. You know, if it becomes to a point where people are getting it just, you know, more prevalent than we are right now. But the Lord tells us in the book of Hebrews and chapter 10 and verse number 25, he says, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much more as you see the day approaching. And so he's talking about the day approaching is when the Lord comes back. So I really don't think, Adam, it's a time to be staying out of church right now. You know, if it got to the point where it got so bad, I might be able to see it.
Yeah.
But I think one of the most important things we could do now as Christians is go to church and pray and just ask for the Lord to have mercy on us.
Absolutely. Well, Nelson, I appreciate your call. I really do. That was Nelson Osborne from calling from North Carolina. I think that right there was I did not see it coming. Did not at all.
Yeah.
And I did not see that call actually coming in today. So it was very interesting to see.
It was just another take
to hear a perspective of a preacher talking about the end times.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we're getting calls off the hook right now too, so that could have sparked something. It's amazing, it really is. But we were talking, Amber, about prominent people that had that has been tested positive for this virus. Tom Hanks was one of them. The NBA, the reason that they probably shut down their whole season is because there's been a couple players that's been affected by this as well. And one of the players that first got affected by it was Rudy Gobert from the Utah Jazz. And it was rumored that he had it, and he was at a press conference, and he was joking around, and he started touching all over the mics and touching all over the table, and that was before he got officially diagnosed with it, and then it come out that he had it.
That would have made me feel terrible. I mean, first of all, I would not have joked like that, but I really hope he felt terrible after that.
Yeah, I mean, it did not age well at all, that video.
No.
So they definitely suspended it. So,
oh man,
Nelson Osborne from North Carolina.
I appreciate that we have people from North Carolina listening.
Well, you got to think though, Amber. He was talking about the end times, and he was giving Bible scripture too. He wasn't just shooting off an opinion. He was giving off biblical verses
in an elegant way.
Oh yeah, and he was talking about how we need to really turn our attention and put our focus on the Lord. That's what that call was about. And I can agree with that. I think that when we're looking for answers, it's times like this we got to turn to God.
I agree.
So, and that's just, that's what I think. I think that obviously some of our listeners think that. There's probably a lot of listeners that think that. So, I don't know. Insane.
Well, I think you might want to check the Facebook Live feed. I think we're getting some news.
What happened?
Looks like the NCAA tournament has officially been canceled.
The NCAA tournament has been canceled.
Looks like Marv has said that, and Shannon has also let us know March Madness officially canceled.
I don't know. My Facebook Live just went out completely.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So
we're out again.
Yeah, I'm going to have to fix that. We'll take off-the-cuff song of the week break while we get that fixed. So, ladies and gentlemen, roll down them windows.
Because it's a pretty day.
It is a beautiful day. And listen to some My Sharona, not My Corona. It's My Sharona. So enjoy Off the Cuff's Song of the Week break. We'll be right back after the song.
tormenta. Nací un día de junio del año 77, planeta Mercurio y el año de la serpiente. Signo patente tatuado y
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in studio with me. Breaking news, the NCAA tournament is over. It is not going to happen. It didn't even get to start. It is done, canceled. We're not going to have it. If you had plans to go, well, you're not going now.
You are displaying your upset face right now.
I'm so mad. I mean, because we knew that there was not any crowds allowed there. We knew that. But we thought, we held on to the sheer hope that we could still watch it on TV. Even though there wasn't going to be any crowds in there, we were still looking forward to it.
You just want to watch them play a little ball.
But we can't. It's over. So we were planning on having a March Madness series on Off the Cuff. That, unfortunately, has been canceled now because we can't have a March Madness series without a March Madness tournament.
Exactly.
I mean, this is insane.
I mean, look at all the other things that came through, on the break that we just took.
Keeneland is apparently not allowing people at their spring meet that begins in April.
April the 2nd, they will be opening with no spectators. And it looks like it come across for anybody who was going to go to the Lexington Comic-Con. On their official Facebook page, they have said that unfortunately they are going to postpone.
No Comic-Con.
No Comic-Con right now. And that was going to be the weekend of the 21st through the 23rd. So, and I was going to meet Scott Hall there.
Yeah, I was looking forward to meeting Scott Hall and
Jim Cornette.
Jim Cornette, too.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to meeting
Great
Cornette.
lineup if anybody from Lexington Comic-Con is listening. Great lineup.
But that's not happening.
Not happening.
Man, I don't... We knew it was coming, but just
I know. That was my hope. I was holding on to.
Hearing the news, it's just like, wow, where do we go from here?
Honestly, that really is a great question. Where do we go from here?
And when are people going to know when it's okay to go back out into public again?
Exactly. I mean, when is it going to be okay that we start to get back to normal?
There isn't going to be like this person going on TV and saying, okay, everybody can leave their house now. It's just going to have to gradually happen.
Well, but see, this did not happen gradually. I feel like I went to sleep on Monday and I woke up on Tuesday and the world was rocking.
Right? I feel like everything was okay 2 days ago. But yesterday...
Boom.
I mean, things just exploded. When they announced that it was a pandemic, but they were trying to warn people and they were telling people to take precaution. So I will say this. I understand when you sit down and you try to figure out why are they canceling all of these events. I understand why they are. It's because they know that there's going to be old people out there. There's going to be people with weakened immune systems that aren't going to listen to the news. They're not going to listen to the experts. They're still going to go to these events. What's going to happen is they're probably going to get sick. They're going to flood doctors' offices and hospitals with patients. And it's going to look like a Canadian hospital where it's just people laying in the floor trying to get health care because, health care is free in that country, so everybody goes to the doctor all the time. But that's what it's going to look like. And it would be flooded. Could you imagine if everybody got sick at once?
No.
That's probably what would happen if we had events like that. So I understand why it's happening. I do. It just really, really sucks.
It just stinks.
It does. It really just sucks. And I had a whole list of things to talk about the Sweet 16, about who was playing who and the times and the dates, but I can't talk about that kind of stuff because there's no Sweet 16. So the show must go on. I mean,
we're getting a couple of other things, too.
Oh, more breaking news. What do we have?
It looks like the Air Force is not allowing anyone to the graduations right now.
Okay.
And that leads us to there have been several closures in Washington, D.C. of the, I don't want to say the important buildings, but yes, the important buildings, the official buildings in Washington. They are no longer allowing the public to enter those, whereas once before we could.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then, we do have a ban that's going into effect starting tomorrow for certain parts of Europe and the UK. So
you can't, if you're in those countries, you can't fly to America.
Exactly. So they are currently working. I know UK has several students over there, I think, on a study abroad. I had a very good friend who was spending a wonderful time over in Greece, and I think she made her way to London and had to hitch a ride home on an emergency flight so she didn't get caught over there.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that this is the time to fly?
You know,
I mean,
it's funny that you say that
because tickets are so cheap right now. I think you can go to Los Angeles for what, $0.00.
It might be like 52 cents right now.
Sean Powell, I hope you're listening to the show right now. My man, the only flight plans that I have in the future is to your wedding in April, and I'm getting a little worried. I'm just throwing that out there for you to stew on that just a tad. Things need to chill out before I get on a plane and fly out to Florida. I do have my flight booked. I do have that, and I have everything ready. It's just I don't know. I mean, here I am becoming part of the problem here.
The paranoia.
Yeah, I'm part of the paranoia, but I need to turn off my phone. But it's hard to do that when I've got a job to do to report the news. But
exactly.
Yeah, no sporting events. That's what I wonder if crime will go up now that there's no sports, because they've asked that question before in schools. What would the world be like without sports? They've asked that question before, and I remember people saying that crime rate would probably go up, that depression would go up, because that's America's pastime. That's what people do to relax, to take a load off, to let their hair down. They watch a little basketball game or some baseball.
Go to a regional district or a regional basketball, high school basketball.
Yeah, you can't do anything now.
Oh.
And I could see that people are now going to get depressed and sad and bored, and crime rate's going to go up.
Very bored.
And it's going to be interesting. We're actually going to now get to see what the world is going to be like without sports for a while. Now, this isn't a permanent thing.
No.
I mean, things will eventually get back to normal.
It's just a matter of when.
Baseball will flourish again, and who knows, the basketball, okay, it's not postponed, it's canceled, right?
NCAA is canceled.
So that's canceled.
I think the Sweet 16 has been postponed.
No, I'm getting news that the Sweet 16 was canceled. It wasn't postponed, it's canceled.
Oh, because I think what it said, and I hate sometimes how they use some of the verbiage, but I think they said it was suspended indefinitely, which I take as canceled, but I think other people could take that as, well, it's just postponed.
You know who probably is really happy that this is happening because she's not allowed in any games?
Oh,
Ashley Lyles, that racist woman who called that poor old boy the N-word at the UK Tennessee game.
Yeah.
Do you remember that happening?
Unfortunately,
we didn't get to discuss that on the show last week because of other things that was going on, and I hadn't really got to touch on it today because of all this breaking news. But yeah, Ashley Lyles was kind of known in the state because she was a cancer survivor, and she was somebody that a lot of people they followed her story.
Yeah.
And it come to find out that she is a really hateful human being that has a lot of hate in her heart. Because
yeah, I seen that.
Her reaction was unacceptable. We lost to Tennessee when we was playing basketball at Rupp the other night, and on the way out, some Tennessee fans doing a little heckling.
Same thing that we do.
It's college sports. It's part of it. I'm for it. They were like, "Why y'all leaving? Why are you leaving so soon?" Because fans were starting to leave because we were getting beat, but there was still time left. And she was like, "Get out of here, you bleep!" And you know what I'm talking about. And then the kid,
yeah.
And it was a kid. It was like a teenager. She said it to,
wow.
Sent it to Mitch Barnhart and sent it to the UK Athletics Twitter page.
Yeah.
And they put her on blast. Her face was all over the media.
Oh, yeah.
And she's went on NBC affiliate stations and apologized. Nobody seems really receptive for her apology. I hate that, but she shouldn't have said it.
Yeah, it's 2020. Can we just not do that anymore?
There's no room for that.
No.
And I'm not shocked that a comment like that was said because I'm not ignorant. I know that racism still exists.
Very much.
And I know that people still feel that way. But it's still catches you off guard when you hear that word just
out loud in a public event.
In a public event of 20-some thousand people. Wow. I mean, it just still kind of catches you off guard when you hear that. But Mitch Barnhart said that her behavior was totally unacceptable, and her attitude and her way of believing is not in any way mirror UK's values and beliefs. So they banned her from all UK athletic events.
Is it for life?
Yeah, indefinitely.
Oh.
And people were like, oh, well, she can easily sneak in. Not necessarily.
No.
Her face is all over social media, and you know how big Blue Nation is. They can...
We'll see you. We'll tell.
If they see you at the game, Ashley, somebody's going to tell on you, and somebody's going to say, hey, Ashley Lyles is at the game, and they're going to toss you out.
Well,
you can't hide.
You know, you probably shouldn't spout out racial slurs.
No.
Think it in your head.
I hate that we are still hearing stuff like that. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, we got one more segment to go here on Off the Cuff. Stick with us. We'll be right back after these words. Off the Cuff, Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in studio with me. Last segment of the hour. Amber, what in the world is going on with Britney Spears?
I mean, we ain't got enough time left in the segment for me to go into all that, but she is in the news again.
She is. Her son, I don't know if you saw, was Facebook living a story.
Well, so it started a couple of months ago. There was an incident that took place, I think, at Britney's house, where her son, I think it's Jaden is the one that we're referring to, there was an altercation between her father, Jamie, and her son, Jaden, which resulted in Britney suspending her parental rights, I guess not rights, but her right to have the kids, like, with her, and gave the bulk of the time on to Kevin, which comes on the heels of, you know, him asking for that obscene amount of money. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but
he goes for it. He has no shame. But her son goes Facebook Live and is like answering fan questions.
Well, he wasn't necessarily answering fan questions like live. He was kind of addressing everyone. He called his grandfather Jamie some very horrible words, which just kind of added into like what happened that day at the house. Like, did, you know, was it a physical altercation or just a verbal? And then he made an astonishing statement, which I think took a lot of us back. He said, my mom is even considering quitting music.
Yeah. You got to take it with a grain of salt. He's just a little kid.
But I mean, at the same time, he gets to hear the conversations that we have no clue about.
Exactly.
So he didn't just make that up.
Yeah, he gets to hear those intimate moments. And what was it he was saying? He said that his dad's like a god.
Oh, yeah, his dad's an amazing dad, which I'm sure, you know, Kevin was like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
But I think he got grounded, and that's the part I loved, is he got grounded.
That's something, you know, when you become famous, you can do and take all the precautions you want to protect yourself and your image and your reputation, but all it takes is just for your kid to get on Facebook Live, because they know how to navigate around social media and put everything about you online. I mean, and that's what's going to start happening to a lot of these celebrities. Their kids, they know their way around a telephone, and they're going to be able to record their parents doing really embarrassing things.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to post it online, and some of these parents are going to get exposed. But I saw that, and I thought that was a pretty interesting story. In light of everything that's been going on, I am in a good mood. That daylight savings time is finally here. We're springing forward this time.
Finally.
Time has finally moved up. And this is the time that I like. That old fallback stuff I don't like. I like springing forward.
Yep.
I think that we get more daylight. We get more we feel like we have more of a day when the time's like this.
Yeah. I like it when it's light outside at 7:45.
And I never did understand the purpose of daylight savings time, so I looked into it.
Okay.
It says the main purpose of daylight savings time, called summertime in many places in the world, is to make better use of daylight. We change our clocks during the summer months to move an hour of daylight from the morning to the evening. Well, Bill 181 is a bill that Kentucky has in place that is requesting we permanently stop daylight savings time and we keep the time the same, how it is now. I'm for that.
I am 100% for that.
There's been some states that's already followed suit with that. Florida, Tennessee is two of them, where they don't do daylight savings time anymore. I don't understand why we do it. It's very outdated. I think that we used to do it because of farming and to give more people daylight to do their farming outside. But it's 2020. Times are different. We have to adjust when the times change. We have to roll with the punches here.
Yep.
Let's keep daylight savings time the same. And I'm glad to see that it's actually being put into the House. It's got to be voted on. Bill 181. So this could be the last daylight savings time we have.
I'd be fine with that.
I would be too. I love the time. You feel like you get more of a day. Because the old time, it's 5:30, you're ready to put on your pajama pants.
Yeah, because it's pitch black dark outside.
I bet you're one of these people that go to the gas station with your pajama pants on.
I absolutely am not.
You are.
When have you ever seen me out in pajama pants?
I don't know. I just picture you being one of these people who go to who goes to Walmart wearing your pajama pants and a Tweety Bird T-shirt.
You're just trying to provoke me right now.
No, because we all know those people that go to gas stations and goes to Walmart, and you look at them and you're like, how in the world are you able to have that much humility about yourself to go and look like you do? Look like you literally rode out of bed. Now, I'm all for pajama pants. I love pajama pants. I wear them all the time around the house. Around the house, I said.
Yeah.
But I don't get out and wear them in Walmart. And
for the record, neither do I.
And usually when people do wear pajama pants at Walmart, they always have on like sandals, and you can see their long toenails.
And their dirty feet.
And
you know, everybody's got a pet peeve in life or something that just grosses them out. Mine's dirty feet.
Yeah.
Dirty feet.
Dirty feet. Mine's dirty nails or short fingernails. I can't stand real short fingernails.
Why have short fingernails?
I'm not talking about like just average short.
I'm talking like below the quick.
Yeah, I'm talking like, when people cut their fingernails down to the quick, it disgusts me. I think that's disgusting.
Why?
I can't stand it. It's almost it's gross. To me, I would rather you have long fingernails than short ones.
No, I would rather you not have long fingernails.
I would much rather you have long fingernails than short fingernails.
Think about going to the restroom and having long fingernails.
Regardless if the nails are short or long, they'll be getting feces in them long fingernails. But they also, if they have no fingernails to get feces in, that's going straight to the bloodstream.
It's not like an open route.
We all know somebody, too, that cuts their nails way too short.
And we all know somebody who keeps their fingernails way too long.
That way too long, like, cut your fingernails.
And I'm looking at them like, how do you open a can of pop with them fingernails?
No, I think the same thing about people with short fingernails. How are you able to open a can of pop if you have no fingernails?
Buddy, real easy. I just hold it in my left hand and pink with my right.
And I feel it's like cutting a cat's claws. Like, how does people open packages, or how do they get anything open? Like just a pack of cookies or something, and you need to like.
Well, I mean, the same could be said with somebody with big old talons.
Talons?
Big talons, you know?
I don't know what a talon is.
It's like the big claws you see on like rooster or like chickens and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
When they've got big long, I call them talons.
No, is that okay?
That's what it looks like.
But yeah, so I just when I see that people's nails are real short like that, that's a turn off. I can't.
All right, so we got Banks over here with the hands. Don't come at me with dirty feet.
Don't come at me with short fingernails. Don't come at me with real short fingernails. I don't like that at all.
I think we both can agree, though, if you don't brush your teeth, we have a problem. Huge problem.
I can get behind that. I can get behind that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in light of everything that's happened, I hope that you enjoy the rest of your week. I'm sure that next week we're going to have a lot more to talk about, and this week has just kind of been a cluster of everything that's happening. I feel like so much has happened just in the last 48 hours.
Just in the last hour, we've had so much happen.
Yeah, since we've been on the air.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do a show and plan for a show like this when so much is happening, because everything that I wrote down to go over today, we didn't even get to. I mean, I wrote down coronavirus. Mm-hmm. We talked about that, but I knew that would carry us through the whole hour.
Oh, yeah.
I knew it would. So I want to thank everybody for listening. We will not be doing a Selection Sunday show on March the 15th, so I hate that. I do. I'm going to gather with my March Madness crew, talk with them, see what the plan is. I haven't even got to talk with them about it, because I just found out on the air that we're not having March Madness. So stay tuned and just keep in touch on the Facebook page. I'll keep you informed on there at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at The Adam Banks. Follow Amber on Snapchat and Instagram at Ambu447. You can listen to all of our previous episodes on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever podcasts are listened to. I'm Adam Banks. That is Amber Turner. And this is Off the Cuff. We'll see you next Thursday from